Zoophobia is a webcomic by Vivian Madrano. It's actually their first work, made back when she was still in school.
Well, Zoophobia is like roughly like the kind of rough premise sort of about is that it centers on a character named Cameron who basically a school counselor, and she's really out of work and desperate for a job, and so she takes a job that she isn't really sure like where it is, and it ends up being in this very magical like lost world that is inhabited by anthropomorphic animals and mythical creatures and cryptids, and it's kind of like this lost world of basically anthropomorphic everything. And she just happens to be terrified of animals. So
It was pretty fun, but you could tell it was someone's first work because there's about 1 billion characters. Some would say the Helloverse does too, but Zoophobia suffered way more from character bloat. Some of the animals are more human-like, some are furry, some aren't even anthropomorphic at all, there's cosmic beings, demons, there's just too much. It's insane that Has-Been and Helvabots were going to originally be part of Zoophobia as well. The first thing that made Viv famous was the Kesha Die Young music video she made, which was sadly made private due to copyright, but there's plenty of re-uploads, introducing many people to Zoophobia and just Viv in general. Well, I was introduced to her by the Media Hunter review of Zoophobia. But eventually Viv had to put a pause on Zoophobia. There's just too many things going on, and she wanted to focus on other projects, like splitting the Helloverse off. And sometimes you do just gotta do that, to take a break from one project and work on something else. So Zoophobia has been on pause for a potential reboot that never came. But 5 years after that, they made a little special, Bad Luck Jack. The special begins at Phoenix Academy. And inside we see the main five, Jack the Jackal, Vanessa the Purple Cat, Spam the Fox, Kyla the Kangaroo, and Zill the Chimera Bug whatever. They perform a little love song until tragedy. This guy Damien set the piano on fire. He's a little mischievous because he is the literal Antichrist. He giggles and floats his way out of the episode, quicker than you can realize that being the Antichrist named Damien is a reference to the movie The Omen. Kyla's played by Rebecca Burr, doing an Australian accent. I know her best as Rosie from Miraculous. Zill is played by Joe Ziha. Jack is played by Bryson Bugas, and Spam is Irish.
I got it, I think. Oh, wow. I can't believe that missed him. Jack!
Jack is cursed by very bad luck, but the ability to heal but still feel the pain from it, because he is the nephew-in-law of the devil, and cousins of Damien. It's a gift and kind of a monkey's paw he was given. Jack is having a particularly bad day, but Zill's here to cheer him up. Well, until his bully Rusty the Golden Retriever arrives, played by Ben Diskin. He makes fun of Jack's misfortune, but the rage bait fails. When Rusty's totally not boyfriend, Autumn the Deer, calls him Reuben, which is his real embarrassing name. Autumn is notably one of the furry kind of animals, while in the original comic, he's Ginger Alistair. The two characters would have been made around the same time, and I'm pretty sure they did it because people would compare him to Alistair, because we still have the more human-looking animals. So with Russ dealt with, Zill promises to look after Jack for today.
Yeah, dude. What's the worst that can happen?
Cuts to the inevitable shenanigans of all the things that happen to Jack. But this eventually leads to Zill getting hurt, and Jack feels to blame for it, so he runs away singing a song about how bad it is to be him. So bad he bumps into a monster.
I've spent enough time in the bush busy and hard yakka with my folks to believe some drongo telling a furphy.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
Vanessa finally saying something. We can tell she's played by Kyla Mills, doing a Raven from Teen Titans voice. And I'm pretty sure she made a cameo and has been. Zill finds everyone, and they hear about the monster, and Kyla is very defensive about her man, Zill.
Whoa, I'm gonna write a song about this!
Not gonna let the monster win.
Boy, why'd your accent drop when you start singing? So the Fantastic Four arrive to stop the monster. Zill can fly and shoot lasers, Kyla's a kangaroo, Vanexka has bombastic side-eye, and Spam is distracted by a bumblebee. But they're able to scare away the monster. Jack learns to not take his friends for granted and accept their love, standing up to his bully.
If it isn't Bad Luck Jack.
He said the title. This was fun. The characters were fun. Definitely had a few laughs throughout the episode. The animation and voice acting's pretty good. But 3 songs was a bit much for 11 minutes. The short kind of pauses just for Jack's song. And it's really weird that Cameron didn't appear at all in this short. I get it's about Jack, but she's the main character. She could have been in the background at least. 6 out of 10. The short did well, but not super well compared to other things on Viv's channel. So for a while, Zoophobia kind of lay dormant, getting picked for parts. But 5 years after this short, Viv revealed they are doing a mini-series about Zoophobia. Not to be confused with the audio-visual adaptation motion comic thing they teased and never did.
So it's going to be kind of like a reboot of that, but like I like to do it like I'm glad that we're going to get to do it kind of proper and like really return to that world in a proper way. Like the kind of rough premise and what the miniseries is going to be sort of about.
So Bad Luck Jack is less of a pilot of this will be episode 1 and more of a pilot of proof of concept of what they can do. And we know that Cameron's returning and they're going to adapt the plot, and much like Bad Luck Jack, it's going to be less adult-oriented. I wonder if they're still going to connect it to the Helloverse. I mean, Damien is too big of a character for them to just get rid of. But also, Damien's dad is Lucifer, who is far different from the Helloverse Lucifer. Maybe they'll change it to he's the son of Satan.
So there may be little changes, but like I think they're all like exciting and like they're going to make it fresh and like good for a new audience and things like that. So for the first time, it's more the visual. I think that's kind of getting an update rather than like. I mean, I know the characters really well, so the characters are what this miniseries is going to focus on.
Right.
So,
I'm optimistic for the future of Zoophobia and glad to see where it goes from here. Well, let me know what you thought down below, as well as hitting the like button and the subscribe button if you're new.